Peter, how about that? Too many people going to prison in this country? You're ready to lock up the postal vandals, I know that.
Yes. The STAR 2, it's alternative STAR programs, it's our penal system. Actually, if I had an administration, we would research and look at the future prison system and adopting a future city the size of Manhattan out in the ocean, but wouldn't have prison guards. We'd have sociologists, psychologists for total rehab, and strong segregation policies. More or less in your questioning, white-collar crime would be fined, wouldn't be contained, so we'd have income, and people who are dangerous to society, who have to work it out, should be sent to this future so-called city. I need 20 years to develop a perfect plan for this future city, which is all prisons, state, federal, everything would be combined into one city with its own landing strip and so forth.
And it would be a prison city.
It would, we call it a rehab. It would be a school.
Similar to that Escape from New York, perhaps.
Yeah, New York's very similar to a prison right now.
Okay. Would it be an arcology, this new city that you're talking about designing?
Could you break that down, Jim?
Newtopia, could you tell us about the arcology?
Yeah, arcology is a container, a new kind of container that would be solar powered. It would have organic farming, gardens all around it, and it works more like your three-dimensional brain. It's not a linear city. The kind of cities that we live in now are linear. That's why they just sprawl out. They're like cancer. We are in cities that work like cancer. So we have to contain it, and this container is necessary if we want to live in inhospitable environments like in outer space.
And would this be a good place for prisoners?
This is a good place for liberation. That's why arcologies we have to create a democratic model within arcologies, or it would be a prison type situation or a dictatorship or fascist government. So we have to combine the two, the arcology and democracy, if we want to live in freedom.
How about an island for prisoners, Charles? What do you think of that idea?
That's not very practical. As I said a few minutes ago, I think we should change the laws rather than lock everybody up.
Chuck, placing prisoners on an island, good idea, bad idea?
It could be cost effective. I hadn't put nearly as much thought into it as Simon has. I'll have to skip on this one.
Very good, yes.
I just want to add, like the big criminals, like George Bush and Dick Cheney, they need to be locked up. You know, if we can lock up these real criminals who start wars and who steal everything from us, we need to lock them up.
Would you lock them up on an island?
I think that maybe build some kind of structure on Antarctica and put them there.
One can only hope they wouldn't take control of that by rigging an election. Simon.
Jim, let me justify my statement, an island. Again, part of my STAR 2 penal system program, it can be an island. It has to be research. It's not, we're not going to fund it. We're going to form a committee to research. And 20 years away, we'll have some answers for this. But basically, we have a basic blueprint of a future environment. And I thought a island would be a good setting. It could be another piece of land, North America, South America, someplace, but enough to house millions of people and to be productive.
All right. We have one more question from our viewers tonight from Lindsay. Let's take a look at this question.
Hi, this is Tommy Tombstone from Tucson, Arizona. My question for the candidate is, we've been invading all these countries like Iran and Pakistan and France, but we're not dealing about our invasion from the south. So my question for the candidates is, will you invade Mexico?
All right. Will you invade Mexico? Peter.
No, of course not. I mean, that's outlandish. The Mexican family, Mexican blood I've been part of, I'm a native Tucsonian. I've been here 35 years. I love the Mexican people. Their bloodline is pure, good. Of course, you have some problems with any race, creed, or color. But the Hispanics, should be part of our great nation. I do believe we should look at, or they should look at us, or becoming a state, a very productive state, because the natural resources would benefit the U.S. economy.
Well, you know, an invasion might move that statehood along.
Well, are we talking an economic invasion or a...
I imagine he's talking military.
No, not whatsoever. I would totally eliminate that from my mind or anybody's mind.
Charles Skelly, invade Mexico?
Oh no, we've tried that before. I just, that seems very strange. My goal is to get the Mexicans to go back there. If we go in there with the army, they'll be afraid to go home.
All right, Dr. Snootopia, the idea of invading Mexico.
I think the global corporations have already invaded Mexico. The question is, how do we deal with the global corporations and make it so that they're not they don't have the profit motive, but they have the human rights program.
All right, and Chuck, your thoughts on invading Mexico?
Well, I think we already have invaded Mexico. If you go down to San Carlos Beach and just walk around, it certainly seems like we've invaded Mexico already. And if we put up the wall, I'm not sure how those people are going to get back home. No, again, I would like to bring people into the United States, but in fact, I don't know why we've stuttled so long on the guest worker program. I think we really need to get that going because we need the workers, we need the people up here, and it's going to be more cost effective than doing it in China.